trend in town, and it's called dermaplaning. Dun, dun, dun. Where we take blades to the face. Let's get into this video. Hello everyone, it's Sean with Seankbeauty, and welcome to Topical Tuesdays. If you're new to my channel, my background is microbiology and biochemistry, and we do Topical Tuesdays where we discuss skincare, and you leave your questions down below and I answer them, bringing my scientific knowledge to them. And on Fridays, we do Foundation Fridays, and on Monday, we do Makeup Mondays. Please subscribe, give it a share. Definitely, it does help my channel. And please click on all notification bells so you're notified every time I put up a video. All right, so there is a new trend in town, and that is dermaplaning. This question came from my friend Bertu on Instagram after she saw the video that I did on pore vacuums and asked if I can really expound upon dermaplaning, the pros, the cons. It's a new trend, it's all over Instagram. All right, so let's get right into that. For those of you who don't know what dermaplaning is, I'm going to bring you the definition of dermaplaning, also the side effects of dermaplaning, but the benefits as well. I want to make sure that you have all the information so that you can make your best informed decision. Also, dermaplaning is not for everybody, contrary to popular belief, and I'm going to tell you who's it for and who should stay away from this method. All right, friends, so dermaplaning is a procedure that is done by a certified dermatologist. And as you know on my channel, I always say seek a dermatologist or an esthetician. This is done with a scalpel, and what they're doing is they're taking off the top layer of the skin, which is the stratum corneum. And what is that to unveil is a more youthfulness to the skin, to give you that radiant look to the skin. They're also getting rid of fine lines and any sort of scarring that happens. The great thing about this procedure is that it can be done right before you're doing a chemical peel, microdermabrasion, or any sort of facial. But again, you're using a scalpel and it's a certified dermatologist. So yeah, take that into consideration. If you are pregnant or someone with sensitive skin and you're looking to really bring a youthfulness to the skin, this is one of the ways of doing it as opposed to a chemical peel. Now, they will do a dermaplane method if you're right about to do a chemical peel, because what it does is it allows for deeper penetration when you're doing your chemical peels. And that's why some people will do dermaplaning prior to. It is smoothing out the skin. It is revealing this youthfulness to the skin. It is said to lighten up some deep scarring that happens from, hyperpigmentation. And then when you go in the sun, hyperpigmentation just becomes even more exacerbated because the sun causes the body to, really make more melanin that actually deepens up the scarring. So this is a procedure to really lighten that up. Now, one of the things I want you to understand with this, even though this helps the makeup to go on smoothly and evenly, and you can do this frequently, the problem is this procedure is expensive. It is somewhere at the beat of $250 to $300 if you can keep up with that. And it actually only lasts about 3 weeks before you start to see hairs growing back. So that's the kind of that's a major con there if you see it as a con. Another thing is if you are one with cystic acne, I do not recommend this, and neither does dermatologists, because this can lend to even more irritation. Also, if you're one with hirsutism, this is not going to be the procedure that would be recommended, just because hirsutism is an issue when a woman has more testosterone being produced and she's getting more hair than usual growing. There's other procedures for like laser treatment or waxing would probably be recommended for, candidates with those issues. And again, this does not last as long as laser treatment or your waxing. So you want to make sure that this is something that you actually want to do. All right, so now let's go into some of the side effects of doing this dermaplaning. All right, friends, so I wanted to dip the lights a little bit because I just felt like it was just doing too much. You all know I'm still learning about this lighting bit. All right, so here's the thing. Side effects do happen with dermaplaning, especially when you're doing it at home yourself. Okay, it's nothing to kill you, but you want to be just well versed on everything before you start looking at buying tools. So I know Huda Beauty started off with the first dermaplaning procedure where she used a razor to the face, and that's literally a form of dermaplaning as well, right? It's an exfoliation of the top layer of the skin that I mentioned. So scarring is very possible when you're trying to do it yourself, or increased pain. There's also infection that can happen when you're doing this at home yourself, and even sometimes at a dermatologist. Another thing is, from a microbiome perspective, sanitization of tools. You want to make sure, first of all, the dermatologist's scalpel is being sanitized. And I know there's been issues with even going in a nail salon and thinking your nail tech is using sanitized tools, and they're not. And people end up with fungus and all this other stuff happening. You know, the likelihood of that is very slim, but I would actually ask your dermatologist now about seeing your tools, the tools that they're using, and if they're sanitized. I'm sorry, it's a lot going on right now, okay? And even after this is all done, I would still look at, you know, the sanitization practices as well that is being done before you put something like this to the face. And also, if you're doing this at home, I definitely recommend extreme sanitization of your blades, and that is 70% isopropyl alcohol. If you can use some heat to that thing, I would definitely recommend that before using it. Using gloves when doing something like this. You definitely want to use the aseptic technique if you're going to do dermaplaning at home. Do I recommend it? No. But given the circumstances, you know, you may want to try it. Do I say go out there and buy all these crazy tools? No. A dermaplaning method can be done with a razor, a beauty tool, and like I said, a scalpel, right? Now, don't go buying scalpels and trying to do that to the face. Another side effect with this is ingrown hairs. So it depends on if you're willing to take the risk and see what it's going to do. Then I definitely say, you know, the ball is in your court at this point. But, you know, like I said, side effects, scarring, infection, you know, sensitivity or some sort of pain, whiteheads that can happen 1 to 2 days after you dermaplane, even with a dermatologist. So you definitely want to make sure that you know what you're doing and you know what your dermatologist is doing to be well versed before having that procedure done. So I don't know, guys, is this better than microdermabrasion? Well, here's the difference. The microdermabrasion method is pretty much exfoliation with fine particles, sometimes being air blasted on the face, or I know Mary Kay is a really great microdermabrasion exfoliant that you can use to bring about, you know, cell turnover and expose that radiant look underneath. Both of them are very abrasive, right? One you're using a scalpel, the other one you're using fine particles to the skin, but it is giving you the cell turnover that you're looking for. So it just depends on what is more important to you, what you feel works better for you, what do you feel is safest for you. You're making the decision for yourself. Because at this point, we can't seek a dermatologist right now or an esthetician unless you do it online. I know Curology has dermatologists that you can talk to online, but I don't know if dermaplaning is a part of their whole, you know, setup. So definitely, these are some things to take into consideration. You know, a really great, like I said, a really great microdermabrasion is from Mary Kay, and I really love that. You do see, you see the benefits. I'm laughing because a friend of mine, when she saw me, I was doing the microdermabrasion a lot, and she said, your skin looks like porcelain. And then I realized, okay, I'm sloughing off too frequently. I was doing that maybe every night after, you know, taking off makeup and then putting it on the next day. I just felt like, oh my gosh, I need this cell turnover because I don't want this sitting in my skin. So anyway, that is that. Hopefully you all found this to be helpful. Definitely leave your questions down below. The discussion continues. My beautiful friend Bertu, I hope this brought some light to you. You're gonna have to make your own decision with this one, guys. I know it's trending and it's everywhere, but you don't have to spend a ton of money on these expensive tools. And again, this procedure is $250 to $300, so it's very expensive. And is it really going to be worth it to you as opposed to a laser treatment or a waxing, when this is not going to give you long-term effects like a laser treatment or a waxing? That still is a deciding factor that only you can make. Anyway, I love you all so much, and I'll see you in my next one. Ciao for now.